He has to say that, doesn't he? We are going to be fighting in the next 6 months. I know what has happened in our spars over the years. He may not say he is worried, but I can tell you that he is. He is worried and not looking forward to the fact that he is facing me in January. That is going to be the fight of the tournament, I believe. In the Super Series, there is no hiding place. You can't run, you can't duck, you can't swerve, you can't come up with excuses. You have signed a contract and you have to fight me. The tournament is a great thing for boxing. I don't know why there hasn't been more of this kind of thing. I am happy to be in it. Now that I have something to work towards, you're going to see a different level of fighter. Those are the words of Chris Eubank Jr. talking about a potential showdown in the World Boxing Super Series with WBA World Super Middleweight Champion George Groves, his domestic rival, a guy who he's shared the ring with on numerous occasions in sparring over the years. I remember George Groves was sparring Chris Eubank Jr. in the build-up to his first fight with Carl Froch. And there were rumours going around even then that Eubank Jr. was getting the better of him in those sessions. But there are many instances of fighters getting the better of a guy in sparring, even over long periods. But when they get in the ring, it's a different story. I could reel off a whole heap of examples, but in each case, there are other factors which come into play. For example, just to give you one, Riddick Bowe used to get beaten up by a guy called Tyrell Biggs in sparring. Tyrell Biggs was an Olympic gold medalist in the super heavyweight division, and a lot was expected of him when he turned professional, but his boxing career really never lived up to those expectations. He never lived up to his potential. He had a lot of problems with drugs, even early on in his pro career. And eventually him and Riddick Bowe met in the professional boxing ring, and it was one-sided in Riddick Bowe's favour. Actually, Tyrell Biggs did have a moment where he wobbled Bowe, but for the most part, it was a one-sided affair. Whereas in sparring, Tyrell Biggs used to beat the crap out of Riddick Bowe. This was just before Riddick Bowe turned pro. So, and that was going on for a long time. He was beating up Bowe in sparring for a long, long time. So things can change. However, with George Groves and Chris Eubank Jr., Chris Eubank Jr. don't have any kind of drug problem. He's a guy that's getting better. He's not a guy that's getting worse or deteriorating. Yes, he's lost one fight as a professional, but George Groves has lost several fights. George Groves is the guy with more wear and tear on him. So if they do face each other in a pro ring, if you believe Groves is going to win, why do you think that the sparring sessions don't mean anything? Is it because they're wearing 16-ounce gloves and headgear? Will it be different when the little gloves are on and Eubank Jr. feels the full power of Groves' punches? Then will it change the dynamic of the fight? Or maybe you believe Eubank Jr. may have George Groves' number. His swarming style that he can sometimes adopt, combinations from all over the place, very high work rate. Maybe not the biggest puncher in the world, but is he a big enough puncher to hurt George Groves? I think he is. Maybe you disagree. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Hopefully I've given you some food for thought. It's happening, I'm out.